Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gregory Gage and this is going to be a roundup of 1 month after having hair transplant surgery. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my uploads. And if you enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. Check out my previous videos if you want to see the week by week growth of the whole hair situation. But yeah, I've recently had a haircut. I cut my own hair. Couldn't be bothered to wait for an appointment at a hairdresser's or a hair salon. So yeah, cut my own hair. And I think I did a pretty good job. I also cut Craig's hair today. It went quite well. Okay, let's go right the way back to the beginning of the month. Is that a wasp? There's a wasp in here. I got it, I got the wasp, it's all good, sorted, no problem. Before we jump in to the recap of this month, I'm just letting you know that I had 2,500 grafts from the back of my head. It's an FUE transplant, and they went straight into the front of my head, into my hairline at the front, and I got it done at Vinci Hair Clinic on Harley Street in London. So, let's go right the way back to the 13th of July when I got my FUE hair transplant procedure done. The procedure itself lasted for pretty much like a day. I was in there in the morning. They injected the back of my head in like rows. They did just rows at the back of my head in like lines. Those injections were painful. That was just the anesthetic going in. So as soon as that first row of anesthetic had settled and started working, the rest of them I couldn't feel a thing. It was great. And then they just got to work on taking the hair follicles out of the back of my head for the entire morning. So that was about 4 hours, I think that was. And they taped it all up and got myself ready for another 2.5 or 3 hours of lying down and then putting the incisions into my hairline to say where the hair is going to be implanted. So before they make the incisions, they inject all the anesthetic into the front of your head as well. And then they use a tiny little tool, I don't know what it's called, but they use that to just like kind of stab into your forehead to put the incisions in. That was kind of a weird sensation. You feel like a crunch as it goes through, but you don't feel pain, you hear the crunch and you feel the crunch. But yeah, so that took a while for him to do that. And the way they do it is really clever because they put the holes in the direction that the hair should be growing. So it all goes with your natural hairline. Makes it look quite natural when it grows through eventually. And then you get the nurses that come along, and they are the ones that they've got all of your hair follicles on their hand like this, and they just use kind of like tweezers to just hold open each of the incisions, and then they use another tool to put the hair graft into the hole that's been made by the surgeon. That was quite an interesting sensation. I found it quite painful at some points, so they had to inject more anesthetic into my head. So I have a strong resistance to anesthetic, so they had to put more in to stop the pain for me. But it wasn't over the top painful, and it wasn't anything that lasted particularly long, so it was fine. It was manageable, no problem. Didn't really do much else other than that. I was pretty much done. As soon as all of the hair follicles were in, that was it. I was allowed to go home. They gave me my bag. It came with medication to take. So this is just like all of the instructions of what to do and what to do in the days after the procedure. They give you this, you can spritz it just to keep it moist so that any scabbing comes off easier. The first 3 days after surgery were where I had all of the swelling that I experienced, and that is just the anesthetic moving its way down your head and being absorbed by the body and then just released as it goes, but it takes a while. So during that time you've got to sleep on your back and not on your side, not on that side, so sleeping is quite difficult. But it's perfectly fine. I'm back to sleeping normally now, and I'm very good. I'm okay with it. But yeah, the first 3 days after surgery was when I experienced a lot of swelling in my face. It started at the top, and then the next day it moved down here, and then the next day it kind of just moved to like the front of my face, so it was around my eyes and around my nose, and that was pretty much it with the swelling. Once that had gone, it was gone. 10 days after the procedure, your hair follicles are secured in your head, so you can start shampooing like normal, being less careful when you're washing your hair, and from that point onwards, for the next like week or so, that's when the hair shafts start to fall out. They don't fall out for everyone, but they do for some people. It's completely normal, nothing to worry about, and your head ends up looking very much like it did before you had any surgery done. So right now, you can tell that I've had it done, but there are less hair shafts in there than there was when I first had it done. But we are now a month afterwards. The back of my hair has healed really, really well. It started off like quite itchy, but the itchiness did subside, and it wasn't really too bad at all. The scabbiness and all the scabs came off, and you can't really tell that I've had it done now from if you're looking at the back of my head. So that's obviously a really good point. For me, it was around week 3 where the hair shafts started to fall out mostly, and it's just carried on doing it very gradually until where we are now. But I'm now in what's called the dormant phase. The end of the first month to the end of the second month, that's when your hair is in the dormant phase. Nothing will seem to change, but once you get to that 2 to 3 months, that's when you're gonna start noticing baby hairs growing through. So that's what I have to look forward to, and that's what I'm excited about. Once that's gone through, at the 6-month point, your hair should be thicker than it was when it first started to grow at the 2 to 3 month mark. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we are at just over a month since I've had my procedure done. I will show you guys what my hair looks like right now. I look very shiny. I don't know why I look so shiny. That should be focusing, I think. You can see I've lost loads of the hair shafts, but you can see there is still loads of bits where the hair is still there. I've actually got a few little bits where the hair has already started to grow into little baby hairs. There's some on this side that are a bit longer than the rest of them, and there's a couple on this side that are quite long as well. So yeah, it is different for everyone. Some people, they don't fall out and it just starts growing immediately, whereas others, the ones that were transplanted will fall out and then new growth will come through. But yes, that's where I am right now. If you are thinking about getting this done, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any concerns at all, let me know as well, and I will try to ease those concerns for you and let you know that it's gonna be okay. I hope you've enjoyed this little recap. I will see you guys probably next month for an update on the hair situation, so that you've got like the 2-month mark and everything, so you can see if I have had any hair growth coming through, and hopefully I do. So wish me luck. Keep your fingers crossed for me. If you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments down below. I will answer them all. If I don't answer them in the comments, I'll answer them in the next video. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my uploads. I will see you guys really soon. Have a great day. Goodbye.